So I did my presentation on global warming. What is global warming? Global warming is a term that describes the human-induced warming of the Earth system. This increase of temperatures is causing more harm than good for our Earth, as described by the United Nations. Our Earth's surface temperature is rising, and we can see this change since the Industrial Revolutions. Global warming is heat being trapped into the atmosphere by greenhouse gases, which are mostly emitted by human activities. The global warming crisis was created by humans and can be solved by humans, as said by EDF Environmental Defense Fund. We oftentimes hear global warming and climate change being talked about together, so what is the difference between them? Climate change is the long-term change of average weather patterns such as rain, snow, droughts, and thunderstorms. Global warming and climate change are happening at the same time. As the Earth's temperature rises, the more change in climate we will see. Human activity is a main factor for both global warming and climate change, as described by NASA. So what causes global warming? In short, greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases are emitted and stay in the atmosphere. They are gases that trap in heat from the Earth. So how does the Earth heat up? Sunlight passes through the atmosphere, heating up the Earth. That heat is then trapped by the greenhouse gases, as shown in the diagram. The sun's radiation heats up the Earth. The Earth then radiates that heat back, but due to greenhouse gases, that heat becomes trapped. The diagram shows us that. It shows us common greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, which is CO2, methane, which is CH4, and water vapor, which is H2O. And this chart comes from Britannica website about the greenhouse gas effect. Even though most greenhouse gases are natural, and this process of the atmosphere capturing heat is natural, the crisis of global warming is all due to human activities. We say this because we can track this down to the industrial revolutions of the world. During the Industrial Revolution, greenhouse gases are being emitted at a faster rate than ever before. This high emission rate has to do with more burning of fossil fuels. Examples of fossil fuels are coal and oil, which are being more burned than ever before during these industrial revolutions. Since 1880, as we can see in the chart, Earth's average surface temperature has increased 0.07 degrees Celsius or 32.1 degrees Fahrenheit every decade, as said by the World Economic Forum. This chart shows us the extreme levels of greenhouse gases going into the atmosphere than ever before. As we can see on this timeline, this extreme level of greenhouse gases happened around 1760 and 1840, which was around the time of Great Britain's, the continent of Europe, and the U.S. Industrial Revolution. So what are greenhouse gases? Some popular examples of greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrogen oxide. Carbon dioxide is the deadliest and is at the highest record ever recorded. We need greenhouse gases, such as water vapor, which is the most abundant. We need greenhouse gases to heat our Earth, to have living organisms, but too much heat will not only kill humans, but other living organisms. We can already see this effect now in colder climates and colder environments being destroyed. I believe it's sometimes hard for people to grasp the idea of global warming since most people don't live in these extreme cold climates, so they don't see the effects firsthand. If we don't change our ways now, we will experience these effects, but it will be too late. So what human activities cause global warming? This chart shows us a broad idea of what activities are causing this crisis, such as transportation, electricity, industry, commercial, and agricultural. We emit greenhouse gases every time we use a car, burn a fire, use hairspray, and eat meat. How can we help? We can save energy. We can reduce electricity by lowering our ACs, switch from non-energy efficient light bulbs for LEDs, washing laundry with colored water, and air drying our clothes. We can reduce transportation by walking or riding bikes, use public transportation like buses and trains, and carpool whenever we can. We can eat more fruits and vegetables, eat more whole grain foods. We can eat nuts and seeds. In total, eat more plant-based foods, which emit less greenhouse gases when producing. When producing these foods, it's more energy efficient and it uses less land and water. Our future generations depend us to stay informed on this topic. Not only do future human lives need us, but other living organisms whose home is this earth. Everyone is capable of reducing greenhouse gases emissions, even if it's as little as eating less meat, air drying clothes, or walking to our destination. Everyone is capable of it. It may seem like these small activities don't have a huge effect, but our Earth depends on that effect. Our Earth depends on us and depends on the younger generations to emit less greenhouse gases and stay informed on our ever-changing Earth.